What is up, everybody? Ethan back with an album review, and today I've got one, a really good one. This is an album I've been listening to a lot here recently, and actually picked it up yesterday at an antique store in Brazelton, Georgia. This is Point Blank, and their second album, Second Season. Guys sitting on the front. This is a Southern rock album, a band from Texas. Southern rock is a genre of rock music that I've been getting into a lot. Always kind of loved, Leonard Skinner and Allman Brothers, but really here lately have been finding and learning and listening to new obscure Southern rock bands. And I would say these guys fit in that category of obscure Southern rock. Like I mentioned, a band from Texas. This is their second album, released in 1977. So going way back, right around the time of the Leonard Skinner plane crash. Their first album is also really good, but I think this is my favorite. So I was so glad to pick this up for $5. It's got a little damage right there, but no big deal. For $5, it's in great condition. It sounds good on the vinyl turntable, so can't complain. Love that album cover. Very Southern rock, kind of Skinner-y, Allman-y, kind of, big bearded guys chilling, hanging out. Point Blank from Texas. Let me see if I can get the members of the band. I know they started in 1974 in Irving, Texas, or Irvine, Texas. Bear with me as I look this up. How would I describe how these guys sound? Very much like ZZ Top. They were undoubtedly hugely influenced by ZZ Top. Actually, their guitarist, Rusty Burns, was actually a guitar tech for Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. So that kind of explains why they sound so similar to ZZ Top. They really kind of sound like ZZ Top light. Not in the light sense, they're very heavy. There's some really heavy, great guitar work on this album. Phenomenal vocals and singing. A lot of harmonies, a lot of twin guitar harmonies. Really kind of, how would I describe this? Think Leonard Skinner meets the Outlaws meets ZZ Top. You have the heaviness and the bluesiness and the guitar tone of ZZ Top and Billy Gibbons with some guitar harmonies of, say, the Outlaws, Marshall Tucker, and just the nice, catchy hooks and rhythms of Southern rock of like a Leonard Skinner. But really, I think they remind me more of ZZ Top than Skinner and the Allmans. And that probably is attributed to the fact that they're from Texas, which is, ZZ Top is probably one of the, if not the most famous band from Texas. So the lineup was Rusty Burns on guitar, like I mentioned, Kim Davis on guitar as well, so a twin guitar band, very common in the Southern rock genre. John O'Daniel on vocals, Buzzy Gruen on drums, and Philip Petty on bass. Irving, Texas. They recorded 6 albums between 1974 and 1982. In the 80s, they became more AOR, like a lot of Southern rock bands did. Blackfoot, Molly Hatchet, Doc Holliday. 38 Special. A lot of the original band members have passed away, sadly. Rusty Burns died in Denver from lung cancer on February 19th, 2016, age 63. Singer and founding member John O'Daniel died from cancer on November 17th, 2018. He was 70. And the last surviving member, another surviving member who died was Buzzy Gruen, who died on April 26th of this past year, actually, so just recently. The last and only surviving band member from 1974 is Richard Heaton, who was the drummer. Actually, the drummer before they ever recorded this album. So let's get into the track listing on this great album. Starts off with Part-Time Lover, just a great, real crunchy, bluesy, heavy rock song. Really love it. The next track is phenomenal. It's a song called Back in the Alley. Has a great chorus, just a down and dirgy, kind of just great funky riff in that. Just a great vocal melody. Great singing from John O'Daniel as well. What a great singer. I believe some of the songs have different guys singing on them, but John O'Daniel, man, what a great singer. He had some range, and he was shrieking over this album a lot. Kind of something you don't hear a lot in Southern rock, except for maybe Blackfoot and like Greg Allman type stuff. But yeah, Back in the Alley, phenomenal song, so great. Rock and Roll Hideaway, more up tempo, a little more fun, a little lighter. Not probably my favorite song on the album. Kind of more. It sounds like something that could have come from like ZZ Top's first two albums, as well as Part-Time Lover. They sound very much. They actually remind me of the ZZ Top songs where Dusty Hill sings, the bassist. That's who this kind of reminds me of, the singer of this band. When Dusty Hill sings for ZZ Top, very similar. I get a very similar vibe here. The next song is a song called Stars and Scars. Great song. Real kind of more mellow, kind of that more Southern rock anthem, if you will. Starts out mellow like a Freebird does. It just kicks into high gear with some wonderful guitar harmonies, dueling guitar harmonies, almost like a Thin Lizzy type harmony near the end of the song, and it just fades away. Longer song, just a great kind of that trademark long Southern rock anthem that a lot of these bands did around this time. Beautiful Loser is the next song. Great vocal harmonies. That kind of reminds me of the Outlaws. Great vocal harmony, kind of more Eagles-ish, more Outlaws-ish, more country rock as opposed to the heavy stuff. And then the rest of the album, side 2, gets really heavy and crunchy. The next song, Uncle Ned. Very heavy song. Great song. I mean, it's just a great crunchy guitar riff, great guitar tone. Heavier than anything Leonard Skinner did. This is like Blackfoot heavy, Molly Hatchet heavy. Uncle Ned is a terrific song, as well as the next song, which is very similar sounding, Tattooed Lady. Great song, just a groovy, crunchy, heavy Southern rock song. Both those songs are just, they floor me. They are great. The next song, equally as heavy. Great riff on it. I mean, it sounds like a broken record, but they're great. Nasty Notions is a great kind of down and dirgy, heavy song with a great groove. Great vocal performance again from John O'Daniel, and a great guitar riff from the two great guitarists, underrated guitarists. Matter of fact, I would say this band as a whole is hugely underrated. And the last song on the album is a really kind of touching, moving, more melancholy ballad type song, but it's a good kind of ballad, not the cheesy, sappy kind of ballad. This is a nice, kind of moving, kind of soulful, kind of like, Allman Brothers meets Outlaws meets Skynyrd, kind of, great, kind of, reflective song, sitting on the back porch or whatever. Waiting for a Change, great song with a great vocal performance from John O'Daniel again. Just a phenomenal song, and just top to bottom, man, this album is great. Why this album was not as big as ZZ Top, Skynyrd, or the Allman Brothers, I don't know, because this album is great. Like I said, I've listened to their first two. They have another one that I got on vinyl, 1979. I'm going to listen to that too, maybe review it as well. And then they got more mainstream in the early 80s, kind of took a break, came back in the 2000s a little bit, and they are kind of more or less done as a band at this point, because so many original members have died, as is common in the Southern rock genre. Unfortunately, you think Allman, Skynyrd, Tragic Deaths, Molly Hatchet, most of them are dead. Blackfoot, Ricky Medlock's still with us, but a lot of Southern rock bands have been decimated by deaths, and they are either have no original members and are continuing on, like Skynyrd, or just are completely done as bands, as they once were, because of just all the original members have passed away. So it's a sad thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is so underrated. I would say this band is underrated. If you like ZZ Top, If you like Almonds, Leonard Skinner, Blackfoot, Outlaws, you're going to love this. This is right up there with some of the best of Skinner. You know, maybe not quite as groundbreaking as Skinner, but so good. Such a great guitar team that this band had. Great vocalists, just great harmonies, heavy riffing, great bluesy, that almost Texas style Billy Gibbons guitar tone. It's all over this album. You know, just that, you know, slow, bluesy, just great guitar tone with the jangly little, I guess what would you call it, interludes in between the riffs sometimes. This has that very Texas ZZ Top sound. I'm not a guitar player, but that's the best way I know how to describe it. Yeah, I would just give this, you know, 4.5 out of 5 stars, or even 5 out of 5. It's a stone cold Southern rock classic. This is great and so underrated. If you're looking for a new Southern rock band to listen to and you're tired of listening to Freebird and Sweet Home Alabama over and over again, check this guy out. It's great. Highly recommend. Second season from Point Blank. Just, if you like ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner, check these guys out. Highly underrated. 1977. I don't know what else to say. I'll give it a 96 out of 100. Just a A+ album. Just great. Right down my alley. If this is not your thing, I get it. But if you like Southern rock and hard rock of the 70s, you will like this. Trust me. And that's going to be it for this album review. Thank you for watching.